Hi there. Welcome back. I was not going to do a reading today, but my guides, they said, yes, let's do a reading. So I had got a reading for you, and here's the most interesting thing about it. They have not given me any clues about the cards. My guides are trying to work me through an ascension process right now. So what's happening is they're gradually pulling away from using the pendulum. I may have mentioned this in my last video, but they're trying to get me to tap in to the messages myself and not have to use a pendulum to get those messages. And so we've been doing this for a few weeks, and it's been a little bit emotional at times. I'll just say it that way. I've had some some bad days, but a lot of good ones. So just because it's when you're it's like weaning a child, and that's what they're doing with me right now. That's kind of how I think about it. Is they're looking at me and thinking, okay, we have guided you along, and we have taught you, and we've been getting you to learn how to read your own instincts and your own intuition more sharply. So we're going to start pulling back a little bit, and we're just going to push you out of the nest and see if you fly. So here we go. They did help me pick the cards, however, and for that I'm grateful. I've gotten pretty good at picking the cards on my own anyway. So here we go. Here's the reading I'll show you. This is and you can't see all the cards. There's some up here that you can't see, but it's a Celtic cross, and I got 3 clarifiers for the final outcome. Now, I'm going into this. I've barely looked at these cards. I've got my Lemurian crystal here, so I'm going to use that to help me channel intuition. But in the middle of this reading, let's just start right in. We have the 5 of Cups. We've gotten this card before. Let's see if there's a glare. 5 of Cups. We've gotten this card before, but when I've gotten it before in other readings, it has meant something different than what it means in this one. In past readings, it has meant, phew, it's over. But in this particular reading, by the way, this is a Trump reading. It's about Trump world and what's going on in Trump land. In this reading, this is the center of the reading. This represents Donald Trump. And what I'm picking up from this card is that he is completely overwhelmed. I look at this card and I'm thinking that this is a guy who is severely stressed out. He doesn't know which way is up. He doesn't know where to turn. And the light is shining on him, shining on everything he has done, and it's shining on the truth. And when I was looking at this card before I started this video, what I was picking up was that these are 3 empty cups that have been spilled, and there's 2 full ones back here that this is a woman, but this represents Trump, that he doesn't see. And what I was picking up was that this is the evidence. These are the things that he's like shredded, the evidence that's been shredded or that he's gotten rid of. But oops, he forgot about this. This is the evidence against him that he either did not see or did not think it would be important, or that he didn't even realize needed to be shredded. And that's going to do him in. So that's at the center of the reading. And crossing him is like in this deck, there's 4 extra cards, and there's a palace for each suit. And this is the Palace of Swords, which is all about the truth. And it's also representative of Archangel Michael, which is interesting because I think I see another card here that represents Archangel Michael. And this is when Archangel Michael his color is deep blue. He is the protector. He's kind of like the badass of the Archangel realm, but I've gotten to know him as somebody who has a tremendous sense of humor. Just as an example, yesterday I was taking a nap and I heard two loud knocks right beside me. And I like jerked awake and I looked over and I was like, did something fall over? Did something? And no. And I thought that was one of my guides trying to get my attention. Because I'm starting to become a little clairaudient where I'm hearing things. One night, the night before last, I heard as I was falling asleep, somebody said my name in my right ear. I mean, literally just said my name like they were standing right there. And I jerked awake like, what? Who's there? What do you need? And it was like a voice. So anyway, the whole point of the story is that I asked last night, I asked my guides, I pulled out my pendulum and I said, did one of you knock twice and wake me up while I was napping today? And I got a yes. And I said, who was that? And it was Michael, Archangel Michael. And I said, why did you do that? And he literally spelled on my chart, pow, bust a move. This is the kind of stuff I get from him. He's very funny. He's got a wicked sense of humor. I love it. But he was just wanting to wake me up because it's like, you're done sleeping. Get up. Got stuff to do, girl. So anyway, I feel like this card represents Archangel Michael in some ways, that he is crossing Donald Trump and putting the kibosh on him. But this also represents the truth coming out, the truth coming to light, and there's just no way to stop it. All right, below the reading is the High Priestess. This is all about secrets, and I just get the feeling from this that the secrets are coming out. I mean, this woman is looking up at the moon. I also feel like, and I've done a couple of other readings this week that I didn't post. They were just like, flash readings. And this card came up and I was really drawn to this moon. And I feel like this next full moon is going to be important, that there's going to be some pivotal things happening at the time of the full moon. And I don't know if he's going to be removed from office. I just feel like it's an important time. And I think this is just saying this High Priestess is all about the secrets being revealed and the secrets coming to light. And I think that might be something to do with this full moon. So let's look at that. I also was getting October 7th, by the way. I've done a couple of readings to find out when something significant was going to happen that would lead directly to Donald Trump leaving office, and I kept getting October 7th. So we'll see. I think the Truth Warrior also got October 7th. So let's keep fingers crossed. Something big, and I think that has something to do with William Barr. Let's just see what plays out. In the recent past, or in the past, we have the Four of Swords. He has been mortally wounded. That's what I get from this. This whole Ukrainian whistleblower complaint, this has been a very deep, deep blow. This is a mortal wound. He's not going to recover from this. This happened in the past, in the recent past, and it's led to all of this truth coming out. And you're going to love the final outcome card. I'm just going to give you that little teaser right now. You're going to love the final outcome card in this reading. Okay. Above the reading is the Five of Swords. You typically see the Five of Swords when somebody is like a false victory, where they've made enemies. They've won the battle, but they've made enemies in the process. And that could very well happen here. I think that this does represent people that he has ticked off, that people that he's fired or that he's forced out, like John Bolton. I think John Bolton is going to come forward and have some things to say. They've had subpoenas come out against Pompeo and Giuliani, who I think they're looking at the situation going, I'm not going to go down with this guy. He's crooked. I got to save my own skin. Don't get me wrong. Giuliani and Trump go way back. They are way back friends. But if push came to shove, Giuliani would do what he could to at least try to save himself, even if that meant throwing Trump a little under the bus, which he's kind of done already if you've been following his tweets, which is just ridiculous. It's like, does this guy not even have a brain? I mean, oh my God. My defense is that Trump did it. What? Okay, more or less. He did that. So anyway, if you haven't watched Melissa Free Range Psychic, her reading on Rudy Giuliani, I highly recommend it. It was very, very good. But anyway, I get that from this card, but I'm also getting Archangel Michael, that he's hanging over this whole situation and he's offering protection and he's fighting for the good and the truth. And if I have time in this video, I might do a meditation or an exercise that came to me while I was meditating today that came from Archangel Michael. And I think it came to me specifically because he wanted me to share it on this channel. If I don't have time, what I'll do is I will, oh, by the way, that's my Archangel Michael pendant. I'm very Archangel Michael today with the blue. But if I don't have time in this reading or in this video, I'll do a separate video with that particular workshop, or that, not workshop. It's a visualization that came to me and it was beautiful. I actually cried at one point, and it was a healing meditation for the world and for our world leaders and the people who are trying to get them out of office. So if you don't see it on this video, please come back and just sit through this meditation or this visualization with me. It's extremely powerful. Okay, that's over the reading. In the near future, we have the Queen of Cups. Here she is. I feel like this Queen of Cups in this particular reading represents a woman. I just don't know who. It could be a water sign because this is the cups. But I feel like this particular woman, whoever she is, and it could be Stormy Daniels coming forward again. It could be one of the women. It could even be Melania. I don't know. It could be Ivanka. I mean, it could be Ivanka. Because isn't she a Scorpio? I think she is, because I'm a Scorpio, and I'm pretty sure she's a Scorpio, and she was born like 2 days before I was, and I was like, oh, please. That was whew. That was a near miss. But whoever this woman is, she's taking the lid off that cup. Because, and I've mentioned this before, that in other decks, the Queen of Cups has a lid on the cup. And in this deck, the lid is off. So I think whoever this woman is, she's going to bring some dirt in the near future that's going to harm Donald Trump. This is the self. I call this the self card. This is kind of how Donald Trump sees himself, the Knight of Coins. Notice it's not the Emperor. It's not even the King. I think he sees himself as a Knight of Coins because he's trying to go into battle. He's taking shots in the dark in every direction, trying to deflect from this impeachment inquiry and from this Ukrainian scandal, etc. And I have to say this. It just came to my mind. I have to say this. It does not matter whether the whistleblower is biased or not. It does not matter whether the whistleblower got the information that he or she got through hearsay. The reason why it does not matter is this. One, the Inspector General followed up with the witnesses that were listed in the whistleblower's complaint and corroborated. I'm sorry, I have a cat here. She's been bugging me. That's Chloe. Anyway, I have the IG followed up with all of these people that were named in the whistleblower's complaint and corroborated the story and deemed that the complaint was credible, urgent, and factual. I mean, that this was something that needed to be looked at. And this was the IG is a Trump appointee. End of story. And then the other reason why this doesn't matter is because Trump himself has admitted that he did it. So who gives a rip whether the whistleblower is biased or not, or whether the information came secondhand or third hand or not? It's been corroborated by a Trump appointee. It has been deemed credible to the point that the IG recommended that the complaint go to Congress. Only William Barr was the one who stopped it, because William Barr works for the president, not the country. And Trump himself has admitted I solicited information. I blackmailed, which is what this really comes down to, a foreign power to help me with my election in 2020. And now it's come out today, if you're following the news, he did this with Australia as well. And it's not going to be a stretch with the Australian investigation that he was asking to do over the Mueller report. It's not a stretch to think that he blackmailed them too, being that Australia was the one that alerted us to the Russian meddling in the first place. And he's also had calls with Saudi Arabia and Salman from Saudi Arabia and Vladimir Putin from Russia that he has covered up and hidden. This is all coming out. Giuliani, again, I give up. Giuliani and all these other people have said, yeah, it happened. So what? Everybody does. No, everybody does not do it. And just because somebody else would have done it does not mean it's okay for you to do it. You know what I mean? That's not a good defense. That's a playground defense in elementary school. That's not the defense that a United States president should be using to justify his crimes. Okay, in the environment, it's the 5 of Wands. Oh, go figure. Everybody's fighting. I feel like this is the Republicans, and I'm not the only one saying this, but when I saw this card, I was like, this is the Republicans, and they are fighting like cats and dogs trying to get ahead of this thing, and they just can't. And at the same time, they're fighting each other, trying to figure out who's going to get thrown under the bus. How can I save myself from going to prison? And how can I put distance between myself and Donald Trump and this whole administration so that I don't get in trouble? How can I make that person the guilty guy and keep myself clean? That's what's going on with these people right now. Don't make no mistake. You see these Jim Jordans or whoever and all of these people, these GOP guys talking with the Trump talking points that somebody accidentally sent to Nancy Pelosi and all the Democrats last week. That was a smart move. But you see all these members of the Republican Party spewing out the talking points, the word salad that the administration wants them to spew on CNN and everywhere else. And behind closed doors, they're going, oh my God, how do we get out of this? Even Mitch McConnell has put distance between himself and Donald Trump. Even he is trying to put a fence up and go, I don't know him. So you know that if that's what's coming out in the public, you know that behind closed doors it's really bad. And that's what this card says. They are at each other's throats, and they are trying to save their own skins by throwing everybody else under the bus. And you've seen that already. Trump's already been like, oh, look at Pence. Oh, look at this guy. Giuliani. And now they're like, Hillary's emails. Really? Again? Okay, so here's the hopes and fears. Woohoo! The Sun card. The hopes and fears. This is obviously Trump's fear. Is that everything he's done is gonna come to light. Our hope is that it will. His fear is that it will. I think that we're gonna get what we want because in the final outcome, bam, the death card. I love this card. It's my favorite card in the deck. Why? Because it represents Scorpio. I am a Scorpio. It represents transitions. It represents endings and beginnings. This is an ending. Don't make any mistake about it. This is the final outcome. It is the end. We don't need the Tower card here. We already know the Tower card has hit. We have the Death card. And if you hear cats fighting in the background, I have some cats that are playing, and one of them gets very vocal. He's a drama queen. Anyway, so this is the end. And bye-bye. It's over. Nothing. This is a major arcana, and there's nothing that can be done about it. When you get a major arcana, you just literally have to endure it. You can't avoid it. It's coming whether he's ready for it or not. And this is why back, several weeks ago, I posted a video and I said, my guides have already said that he's gone. Trump is already gone. He just doesn't know it yet. And I think that my guides told me that because everything that had happened in August, because all of this came down in July and August, that was his end. It just hadn't come to light yet. So he's gone. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out and don't be all afraid and go, oh, what's going to, he's gone. He's gone. Okay. He's still sitting in the chair, but he's gone. His power has been stripped. He really has no power anymore. He can't do a thing. And there's going to be more whistleblowers that come forward. And it's literally going to be just kablam, kablam, kaboom, kapowie, kapsh, pow, bust a move. It's going to hit him so hard. And I'm just laughing because it's kind of funny because, it's like, woo, the energy is starting to feel really good. And we've been so suppressed for so long. And now we can kind of we can start waving our flags and our batons and shooting off fireworks. Okay, I've got 3 clarifiers for the death card. Okay, so here's the death card we got. I'm just going to push these cards up. So there's our death card. The first clarifier I got was the 6 of Cups. This usually represents the kids who've been detained and separated from their families at the border, but not in this reading. In this reading, this card represents a return to normalcy, a return to innocence, happiness, almost nostalgic that I don't really want to call it nostalgia because nostalgia kind of harkens to the, thinking back to when things were better. No, it's not really, this isn't saying we're going to be thinking back to when things were better. We're actually going to start returning to a time, returning to a way of governing that is better. So, this is your ending that leads to the new beginning. This is the new beginning. This is just kind of adding on. It's like taking the new beginning that the death card represents and it stretches it out here like, yeah, here we go. Okay. What is the 7th of, how many days is that? 7 days, 7 days from now. I was going to say, does the 6 have something to do with that? The next card I got to clarify the death card was the Magician. When I get this card, there's light shining down on everything. So I feel like this card is saying it's all going to be exposed. It's all getting exposed and will be exposed. Don't worry about it. The truth is coming out. The truth about the money. We're taking action against it. And we're also the truth about the communications that have gone on will be coming out. And you can be happy. There's the emotion and the open cup. I also feel like this person in this card represents source, like spirit, like our angels, like the embodiment of our angelic army watching over us and protecting us. And the last card I got to clarify and add more information to the death card is the 7 of Coins. This is the harvest. You reap what you sow. And yeah, this card shows all these beautiful coins in the tree, but it could just as easily show fruit wasting on the vine. And that's what I get out of this card, that the fruit has wasted on the vine, that he sowed really bad seeds and he let the weeds grow, and it created this nasty fruit that no one wants to eat anymore. And that's that. And this is a longer reading, so I'm going to do a separate video for the visualization I had today that was so powerful and so beautiful for healing the earth and our leaders. But I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And I did realize after my last reading that I didn't have my information in about PayPal, so I'm going to try to make sure I put that into this video. I don't do this for money. I do this for my own personal growth and to help you guys calm down and feel good and reassured. And because I feel like it needs to, you guys need it. We need that. And it's been a really, really tough, almost 3 years, but it's finally coming about. And we'll just leave this on these two lovely cards, the Sun and the Death card. All right. Love you guys. Many blessings to you. Don't worry. He's already gone. Bye.